So, bidding starts at £500. Jokes aside, hello, welcome back to this video that I'm literally recording several minutes before I'm actually uploading this. And, yeah, so I did a community post about this a couple of days back, talking about how the streaming rights for the very, very first story, An Unearthly Child from Doctor Who, is being held at ransom, essentially, by the son of the writer, Anthony Corbyn's son, Steph, has essentially pulled the rights for streaming and the episode An Unearthly Child. And it has devolved into a massive shit show, to say the least. So, welcome to another edition of Michael Rants, where, yeah, this is just fucking ridiculous. So, bit of backstory. Um, this episode, An Unearthly Child, or as it's been coined recently, The Tribe of Gum, was written as the first serial by Anthony Coburn. And the thing with back in the 60s, I'm not too sure if it's still the way it is now. But back in the 60s, when people used to write scripts for television programs back in the day, they actually kept the rights to that episode that they wrote. That's that story. And that's why Anthony Coburn and even Terry Nation had kept the rights to stuff that they wrote, such as with the Terry Nation estate still owning the rights to the Daleks, and anytime the BBC wants to use it, they have to go through the Terry Nation estate in order to get licensing in order to use the Daleks. But the thing with Anthony Coburn's son is after Anthony Coburn died in 1977, obviously the rights fell to his son, who basically recently decided to not continue the licensing deal that he had with the BBC over vendetta. Yes, I'm not joking. This is literally over a vendetta. He blames his father he blames the BBC for his father's death in 1977. I'm not joking. Literally, his father was working on a show, its second season, and he sadly died of a heart attack. And Steph is blaming the BBC for that. He's literally saying the BBC murdered his father. I wish I was joking. You can literally go and look that up because there's a whole bunch of his tweets about that on Twitter, or X as it's now being referred to as. And he's even been trying to say that his father is the one that came up with the with TARDIS. And he's saying that he owns the rights to the word TARDIS, and the BBC have been, using that rights against his will, essentially. And it's just one massive cavalcade of him basically turning into a supervillain. He's saying that he's doing this for his vengeance, and I'm not joking. He literally capitalized the word vengeance, and not just the V in vengeance, the whole fucking thing. And yeah, it's now since been pulled off of all the other streaming sites, uh, YouTube as well. Clips that were on the official BBC Doctor Who YouTube channel and the official BBC channel, I believe, have gone. I haven't actually gone looking for that myself, and they even confirmed that literally in just 2 to 3 weeks' time, on the 1st of November, when every other episode of Doctor Who is due to go live on the BBC iPlayer, um, this will not be included, which means now this is technically cast as lost media because there hasn't been another printing of the DVD or VHS tape, which means these are going to be a lot kind of sought after, for those who want to own the original story, because of all this shit show that's going on. And the only way to get your hands on this essentially is one of three ways. As I mentioned, the VHS tape, the standalone, someone selling the standalone DVD, um, or in the Beginnings box set, which includes the first three stories: An Unearthly Child, or as I said in the beginning of this video, The Tribe of Gum, Dalek, and The Edge of Destruction. Those are the only ways to actually now legally acquire it. Now, I'm not saying, I'm not going to tell people to go pirate this, because I'd rather you go pick up the DVD if you can. But that also is now going to affect, the big season box sets that the BBC have been doing recently for a lot of the classic Doctor Who. Like last year, I think it was, when they've done the season two box set. Now, if they do a season one box set, it's going to be incomplete because this won't be a part of it. And Steph has even said that, oh, if something were to happen to me, he's given the rights to uh, the BBC's rival, or something like that, something or another, which is just absolute bonkers. It got so bad that Ian Levine has stepped in. He talked to Waris Hussein, the first director of the person who actually directed An Unearthly Child and was working with Verity Lambert and um, all the others, Sidney Newman and all them, whilst working on this, And there's even contentions that Anthony didn't have a lot really to do with the story. That, and essentially, yes, he did write it, and yes, he has the acting credit, but apparently script editors went through it and changed a lot of it. So I don't know what's through. We're talking about trying to figure out something that's 60 years in the past and now, basically. And not only that, records weren't really all that well kept. That's why we still have nearly 100 missing episodes of the show. Because of that, because records weren't really all that important to keep when it came to television shows. So yeah, as I've been shown off throughout this video, I do own a copy of Unearthly Child. So in a sense, it doesn't affect me, but it affects those who want to get into classic Doctor Who, that want to give it a shot and watch the very first episode that came out 60 years ago, uh, this year, next month even, to see what that was all about, to see where it started. And they can't do that now on any streaming platform. Um, and they'll have to go out and even if they have a DVD player or a Blu-ray player, people might not own those things anymore. And with that, there's no real way for them to watch this story without, as I mentioned, pirating it. And it sucks. It really does. I think Steph Coburn is the biggest jackass of this year. Like, just having this stupid personal vendetta. And on top of that, apparently he's a racist git as well. He's apparently was very upset when Ncuti Gatwa got announced as the 15th Doctor, saying that his father would be spitting in his urn, um, with the casting of a gay black man to play the role of the Doctor. It's just, it's insane. And from what I've heard, he basically wants, in order to get the BBC to have the rights, which they're obviously not going to do. They don't give two shits about this deranged lunatic. He basically wants a year's salary for a person working in the UK in order to get the rights to the Tribe of Gum or An Earthly Child. I'm always going to call it An Earthly Child. I'm just referring to it as the Tribe of Gum in this because that's what he's effectively referred to this story as, the Tribe of Gum, which, in my honest opinion, is fucking stupid. Like, the Tribe of Gum. Like, yeah, the Tribe of. Fine, we're dealing with cavemen here, but gum? Really? You gotta come up with something better than that. But yeah, it's a massive shit show. I don't see the BBC doing much, if at all. I think if the BBC were to do something, um, to this guy, it's to buy the rights from him once and for all. But I know he's not going to do that. I know Steph won't do that. Even if they've approached him to buy the rights off of him, he's gonna ask for an extortionate amount. And I'm pretty sure he has, if they have already tried to go down that route. So that's my 2 cents on it. It's a fucking massive shit show. Steph Coben is a massive jackass, in my honest opinion, and I hope that this kind of gets sorted and fans can actually watch and appreciate this episode, even though it's not all that great. I did a review for it last year, and I said that outside of the episode one of the 4 episodes, it's not all that great. It Dalek is better, and I mean, even in the Dalek novelization, Target novelization, they essentially just cover briefly the first part of An Unearthly Child, and then dive straight into the Dalek, which is what I would recommend people doing, is just watching the very first episode of An Unearthly Child and then just going straight into Dalek. Because the episodes 2, 3, and 4 of the serial, it's not all that great in my honest opinion. But if you want to check out my review for that, it's in my Doctor Who reviews and more playlist. Um, so yeah, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you thought of this in the comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions on this are. And yeah, I will catch you all on tomorrow for my for an episode of Tales from My Backlog on The Exorcist.